girls, how are you, ladies? Nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming. We today, B'ezrat Hashem, are going to speak about Melechet Dash. Dash, okay, one of the 39 Melachot of Shabbat. Dash means threshing, okay? Okay, beating the stalks to separate the grains so they should fall out. Basically, separating. Before I start to speak about this, I was looking to find a story to relate to this melacha, and I found something about Hanukkah, and I was so happy to see that. So, once the Sultan that used to rule in Turkey, right? He went to visit his personal doctor. He was a Jewish doctor by the name Nisim Rachamim. He went to visit him, and it was Hanukkah. It was the 8th day of Hanukkah. And he saw the menorah with all the candles lit. He was very impressed. And he tells the doctor, please tell me, what is this little candles? What is their story? He told them about the Greeks, how they ruled over Israel, the decrees that they put upon the Israel nation, how the Maccabim, how they fought in Mesurut Nefesh, okay, to chase them away from Israel, how they were able to free Israel, okay, and restart the work in the Holy Temple. And therefore we light, and because of the candle, the miracle, okay, they found this menorah, they found this olive oil. This is why we lit it for 8 days. This is what he was telling him, and he's asking him, and so why the 9th candle? What is the shamash? What is this for? He said, well, this doesn't have, this is an unholy candle, it's just we use it to light the other candle, so we leave it. The Sultan was thinking about this, and he says, no, there's supposed to be a different reason. This candle stays on all the time. You don't turn it off right after you light all the other candles, and it stays. And not only this, you put it high above everything. There's supposed to be a different understanding here. Why? Why is that? He didn't answer him. He didn't know. The doctor told, the Sultan tells him, I see there's a secret behind this day, and you don't want to tell me. You don't want to reveal this secret to me. So I don't want to see your face until you're going to come and tell me what's the secret of this 9th candle. And he left. He was very angry. He left. This doctor, Nisim Rachamim, he was perplexed. He didn't know. He said, oh, every second, if you don't find favor in this, the court of the Sultan, of the king over there, there's all kind of enemies there, there's all kind of bad people, they can say all kind of slanders, and if he doesn't like you, he can listen to them, and who knows, maybe even to make bad degrees towards the Jews, not only towards me. So he didn't know what to do. He decided he takes a walk outside, and he thinks over and greets him, an old man. And warmly, with a happy face, he tells him, hello, how are you? And the doctor kind of muttered something, didn't really answer, and he tells him, I see that you're worried about something, you're upset about something, do you want to share it? Maybe I could help out. So he told him all whatever happened. The old man tells the doctor, there is a great secret behind the 9th candle, behind this shamash. What is the idea of the shamash? With the shamash we light the other candles, right? He tells him, think about this. This little candle now, the shamash, he represents himself, and he talks to the people to explain himself. He says, I was grown as an olive tree, okay, and I felt protected. Everything was calm and nice and beautiful, but apparently that wasn't my purpose in life. So people came, picked me up from the tree, okay, and put me into this olive press, you know. Over there, they beat me, they stepped on me, they squeezed me out. I suffered so much. They took all my juice out, you know, all this oil, they took it out. And yes, I suffered a lot. I didn't like it. But now then they put me into this kind of a little vessel and inserted a wick inside. And now, you know, as they use me as a Hanukkah candle, as a shamash, they kind of empty me out. I lead to other people, but I myself, I am consumed. Nothing is left for me. All what I do is just to shine up to other people, to light up for other people, to illuminate light to others. That's my purpose in life. So he tells this old person, he tells to the doctor, always be this type of a person that shines out to other people. When you do chesed, when you teach other people laws, when you help out their children, or any type of thing, that always so that good will come out of you. Okay, this is the purpose of a Jew, and this is something interesting that I found. So if we're talking about squeezing, and this is the melechet dash. Dash means to we extract. Okay, we separate. Okay, something that we want from the unwanted. Okay, and this is our subject today. This is what we're learning. So it says. And I continue from this book that we started, Shabbat Ve'ilchotea, right? It says like that. Whoever squeezes on Shabbat olives to make from them olive oil, or whoever squeezes grapes to make from it grape juice or wine, this is a violation, okay, of dash. This is not allowed to do on Shabbat. Very, very severe. And because of that, we don't squeeze also other fruits, like it says here, like strawberries, like pomegranates. Because when people see that other people, they squeeze this type of fruits, they may come to squeeze olives and grapes, which is a real, you know, which is the violation of Shabbat. So rabbinical or other fruits, but from the Torah, grapes and olives. Every fruit that you usually squeeze from it, because of thirst or because of enjoyment, okay? You cannot squeeze. It doesn't. Here it says only strawberries and pomegranates, but any type of fruit that some juice can get, you can extract juice from it. You cannot squeeze them, whether it's pears, whether it's apples, whether it's oranges, grapefruits, mangoes, pineapple, whatever. Okay, you can take juice out of it. Usually we don't squeeze them on Shabbat. Some say that tomatoes you can squeeze on top of food. That's what it says. Tomatoes you can squeeze on top of food. I'll come to the lemons soon. Fruits that usually you don't squeeze to make juice out of them. Here it gives the example of watermelon. So you can squeeze in your hand, not with a special device, you know, with your hand. And of course no electric mixers or stuff like this, definitely not okay. And usually we, if we squeeze fruits, it's only on top of food. You're allowed to, if we speak about grapes, you're allowed to suck with your mouth some of the juice that comes from the fruit, okay? Like strawberries, like pomegranates, like oranges and some other fruit. Also, you're allowed to suck, let's say you have soup, and over there's this nice piece of meat. You're allowed to suck the juice out of that meat, not a problem. The problem could be only with, usually the problem is it's very strict with grapes, because years ago people used to extract, make wine from it, which becomes even more important than the thing itself. We have a special bracha for wine, right? And this is the problem. So with grapes, they say, if some juice came out from the grapes, so don't drink it, because you might continue extracting more juice from it and stuff. But of course, if you're taking a grape, you're allowed to put it in your mouth and suck it and enjoy it. Put it all, everything, and then if there's some cyst or something, you spit it out, and that's about it. So this is what it says about a grape. And another thing here that I added before. Okay, liquid that came out of the grapes by themselves, I think I mentioned it, it's not allowed to drink it, again, just because people may come to a violation of Shabbat. You're allowed to squeeze fruits, okay, on top of food. This is not a problem. And of course, whatever we say, it's always when you eat right away, right? And
like an orange, you could squeeze orange out of a salad.
On top of a salad, on top of food, yeah. And as long as the food is much more than the orange itself, you don't take a whole orange to squeeze on 1 teaspoon of sugar. This you don't do, right? You have to have an amount there, so it's going to get inside. It's going to be absorbed kind of by that food or sugar or whatever it's going to be. Usually, as we squeeze, usually you take first you have some sugar in a cup, and then you put on top of this juice, from the squeezed juice, and then some water if you would like, or some other thing. If we allow to squeeze, we're allowed to squeeze into food, but not on top of another drink. This is what it says. Okay? And now we're going to speak about lemon. Lemon, rabbis were much lenient with lemons, squeezing lemons on Shabbat, and so you're allowed to squeeze a lemon on top of food like salad, no problem. If you want to make a lemonade, so again, first the sugar, let's say you have 3-4 tablespoons of sugar, okay, half a lemon or something, and then on top of this you add the water that you want. If you want to squeeze a lemon into a hot tea, last time we already mentioned that you cannot squeeze lemon into a boiling cup of tea, because a lemon is something that kalei bishul, is something that cooks very easy, okay? And even though a cup of tea is a kli sheni, meaning you take water from the urn, hot water from the urn, which is kli rishon, you put it into a cup, which becomes kli sheni. Even though it's a kli sheni, it can get cooked in there. So if you want to squeeze lemon into a cup of tea, only into kli shlishi, into the second cup from the urn, okay? Kli shlishi, not into kli sheni.
So hot water
Hot water.
to this,
That's clear.
and then to
Yeah,
I have a
to
lemon
double,
here,
right.
and then I'm allowed.
yeah. If you have first the urn,
Yeah.
then into the tea kettle that
Yeah.
you want, and then from the tea kettle you can pour into the third cup, and into the third cup you're going to put this lemon or sugar also if you want, whatever.
One second, the hot water urn.
The
is
hot urn is the
clear
kli rishon.
Trying to put this.
the one that's electric, you know, that's the source of hot water. Okay.
Sugar is also kali bishul?
Sugar, we spoke about this last time. We always put first hot water and then on top sugar. Okay.
Same thing with coffee.
Okay. In any case, okay, this I mentioned. Now, another thing about the lemon. Okay, fine. We spoke about the lemon. Now, if you have some fruits or basically vegetables that are preserved in salty water or vinegar, okay, so you're allowed to shake them off from the liquids that it's in there, you know, and it's not called squeezing. This is what it says. First of all, you're not going to use this water left or that's come off out of it. You're not going to use it. And so you're allowed to take it and shake it off, okay, or to put it on top of some other type of food, okay, no problem. You cannot cut a grapefruit into two halves, to put sugar on top, okay, and start taking, you know, scooping it, okay, from it. But if you're able to be so careful not to squeeze, he says it's okay because you want to eat also the fruit, not only to take out the juice out of it. So then it's not a problem. It's allowed on Shabbat to stir the hot tea with the sugar, even though it's going to melt inside. Okay, no problem. Yes.
So sugar, I'm sorry. So sugar and tea bag is you can do it straight into a klisheni, like directly into.
First hot water and then sugar. Right.
Oh, okay.
Tea bag is a cliche.
Tea bag is something else. She's asked about the sugar.
Oh.
We spoke about tea bag already previous times. We said tea bag into a klishlishi. We said if you didn't use the tea essence. Okay.
Coffee also, please mention.
Coffee?
Sheni, right?
What
Coffee
about
doesn't
that?
have to be
But
shlishi.
hot water then? And then, right? Coffee and the sugar.
Instant coffee.
First hot water and then coffee and sugar.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter the order. Doesn't matter the order. They were both cooked anyway from before. But first hot water.
And the baby
Huh?
formula. The baby formula is the same. Water, then formula.
That's what we usually do.
So,
Baby oil.
Baby
Huh?
formula.
Baby formula. It's usually how it's done, always. Not
this
not
is-
only on Shabbat.
Why? Sometimes you put the
Depends if it's cooked or not also.
sometimes you put the powder in first. No? I don't know.
No. First water usually
water
and then
first.
powder.
So it gets dissolved.
what if I like my coffee to paste it? Like,
Thick. You like it? Make it thick.
No, probably it's cream with cream on top. She
No, she mixes the coffee with the sugar, then she puts
a
it
drop
ma-
of
it becomes a
water.
paste.
I paste it.
Why?
It's like a latte drinking, like, you know, that's how I do it.
thick.
I asked, I think, Rabbi, I was not sure what he said, but I still do it. I don't know. I like it. I can't drink just plain coffee and a sugar. I paste it with a spoon.
So again, because some say that the coffee was already cooked from before and the sugar was already cooked from before, some allow to pour boiled water on top of this, but usually we don't do it. First, we usually put hot water and then all the rest. And then the milk and...
Maybe she can put hot water and then make a paste
can do it.
separately
A drop
and of then hot water.
Right, you could do it in clear.
But it's already paste. She has to put a little bit of water and then put.
Put a drop of hot
The
water,
same.
put coffee, sugar, mix, and then put more hot water once it's cooked.
Okay.
Yeah, you use that.
Okay. Other types of squeezings that we have here. It's not allowed to milk an animal on Shabbat. to milk the cow. Okay, if an animal suffers, then it's allowed to milk it, but milk must be wasted. You cannot really use that milk. Okay, and so would be with breastfeeding.
Oh, really?
What?
Breastfeeding the baby.
Pumping.
If right, you cannot. Well, the baby is not awake, and you're too full, and you cannot. You cannot pump it in order for the baby to use it later. You have to waste it. You have to throw, straight to the sink or something like that. If you have manual
Yeah, with the
manual pump, so I saw somewhere that if you put from before you put soap inside, so the baby won't be able to drink it. You're allowed to remove some of your milk, because this is how it's going to go to waste. You're not going. It's like wasting it into the sink. Okay, in this case, it's okay.
And if the girl the baby cannot eat just from the bottle. We did it with my daughter on Shabbat. We put a timer, and she had to take out the milk. So this milk was not allowed.
So
to
I read that if there's no other way that the baby is going to take it from you, you need to do it with somebody else, not alone. I guess for shinui, not to do it alone, with somebody else together to take it out, so that the baby, if there's the only way for the baby to eat it, to drink from this together. Another type of squeezing that we have here. Oh, about this, I saw something interesting about milking a cow. I read about Harav Ovadia Yosef, about 65 years ago. He was giving a shiur. At that time he was a dayan in Petach Tikva. He was giving a shiur to a group of people, and he was talking about laws of squeezing, laws of dash, and you're not allowed to milk a cow. He was notified that in the audience there's this man that does this on Shabbat, and he tells him it's not allowed. He speaks to him about the severity of this violation, and he kind of didn't care. He didn't care about that. And so it says that the next Shabbat, when he came to milk his cow, somehow a poisonous snake came and bit him. And he was in the hospital for 3 weeks, wasn't able to be released, and the rabbi came to visit him. And again, he rebuked him about this thing. He told him, listen, you have to take care of it. This is when the man really accepted it from him. The rabbi advised him then to sell his cow or whatever he has, the animal, to a goy, so it's going to be easier, whatever. He decided that he does tshuva, and this is something that I read today regarding this. It's not allowed to squeeze blood out of an animal or a person. Sometimes you have a mosquito bite. You cannot go and squeeze or I don't know, you have a wound, or you cannot pop pimples and stuff, and it doesn't matter if blood comes out of it or this white pus comes out of it, doesn't matter. Okay, same will be with so, except of course it's a life-threatening situation. We're going to speak about sickness, about this. We're going to speak about medicine and all this, but it's not allowed to crush snow or hail, so that water would be released from it. Okay. Some say it's allowed to spread salt on the snow, even though it melts the snow. Oh, it's not a problem. It's allowed to walk on snow even though he crushes it and water comes out, because and he is not intending to do this. He doesn't want to do it. It just happens. It's fine. It's not allowed to crush ice in a glass of water, but it's allowed to shake it a bit so that it's going to melt faster. That's not a problem.
How about to add hot water to make it wet?
You're allowed to add cold water on top of an ice cube tray, so that it's going to be released. Sometimes it's stuck and it doesn't leave, so you're allowed to put some water.
Ice you have. I'm taking ice from the ice maker. I cannot break it there and take it
How
out.
can you take ice from an ice maker? What type of ice maker you
Shabbat.
have?
Shabbat, I can't
But
press.
from
I
inside.
open the refrigerator.
So you take it from inside.
I
Okay.
take it. It's a whole. Like,
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
to like shake it
Uh-huh.
to break it. I'm allowed to do that.
So here, it's allowed to break a big piece of ice, okay? To put it in a glass of water or wine. It's allowed to take a big piece, but you cannot start crushing them. This you
No,
cannot do.
Yeah. Okay.
It's allowed to put some water. Okay, this we just said on ice cube to be able to take them out of the plastic tray. We just said it's allowed to put ice into an empty cup and it's going to melt by itself. Well, it's fine. It's allowed to let the sugar, melt in a teacup while we said that. It's allowed to okay. Now we're speaking about baby wipes. It's allowed to use baby wipes to wipe the baby, but here you have to be very careful. Some rabbis, Ashkenazi rabbis, they don't like when people use baby wipes. Also, when I had little kids, so we used to have it in a roll. Today, Baruch Hashem, they're separate, and but as it comes to the lower parts of the basket, it becomes very wet over there. This you have to be careful because this can be squeezed. You squeeze it before Shabbat, okay? Take all the water out of it so that you won't come to this, squeezing on Shabbat to this problem. And even after you did this, you have to do it very slowly and carefully, not strong, not to squeeze this baby wipe. Okay. It's allowed to scrub dishes with a plastic sponge that doesn't absorb. There are some plastic synthetic sponges. They're supposed to be kind of not dense, as they do the net of it. It shouldn't be dense. It should be kind of air in between. So this type of things you're allowed to use on Shabbat. Plastic, the round ones, but all the other sponges that we have out there, the other things they absorb, and we cannot really use them. We cannot use them on Shabbat. It's a problem. If some water spilled on a table and you need to wipe it, you cannot take a cloth and wipe it because you may squeeze it. It absorbs it and you may squeeze it. So you have to just leave this or some paper napkins or this, if it's a big amount, this cloth on top. Don't remove it. Just leave it there. It's going to be absorbed and that's it. Because once you're picking it up, you're going to start squeezing it.
Can't pick it up,
So if you know it's very much, it's a lot, and now, if let's say it's on the table and you need the room, you cannot leave it there, so you can take a squeegee. You know what a squeegee?
No.
It's this little,
Should I demonstrate?
huh? Demonstrate. Magav, it's like a sponge like we do for the floor. They have squeegees for the counters, for the table counters.
So it's
So this way
plate,
you're
yeah.
allowed to remove the water from the tablecloth if it bothers you, and then wipe it. Then it's not a problem. Okay, so it's
What
allowed.
if you pick up from the corner that's not so wet?
Huh?
You put a shmata on the table, but one of the corners is not so wet. Pick it up from that dry corner and remove it.
They're leaking.
It's going to start dripping. If
Well, you're not squeezing it.
it's a very close, to your sink that you're going to put it right there, or to the garbage, it's fine. But if it's a long way and this, you're going to kind of
Like I take a plate. I take a plate next to me. If I have this, I just put it right away in a plate.
It happens all the time with little kids.
Yeah,
I know. It always happens.
Maybe
It always
maybe
happens.
thicker towels you can use also.
Yes. Now we're coming to a thicker towel. You're allowed to take if people have to take a shower. Let's say a woman needs to go to a mikveh on Friday night, or a man went to a mikveh, or you have to wash somewhere that got very dirty, or a baby spilled something on your hair, and okay, so you don't have to stay with the dirt all the time. You can clean it somehow, but you have to be careful, of course, not to squeeze afterwards your hair. You take a thick towel, like Vika just said, and make sure you don't squeeze it. If it's something, it's a very, very thin cloth, you can squeeze it, but if it's a thick towel, you take it. So it makes it much easier, and also very fluffy. You're going to dry yourself, not to squeeze.
Sorry.
Yes.
Just once happens to be that when to make one Shabbat, they give you a sheet instead of the towel.
It absorbs better.
I think
A sheet?
Shabbat, like it's happened like a Shabbat, there was a sheet instead
I
of the
guess
towel.
the idea
I guess it
is,
I
don't
thought
know.
the thicker the better, no?
That
for them
it
it
was
is
like,
better.
no, it was the sheet, I guess it
Maybe
was
she
absorbing
just wants
less.
to be careful that you should be careful not to squeeze your hair.
Yeah, probably.
With this sheet, you cannot really do anything with your hair. I don't know.
Interesting.
If you need to, let's say, clean a baby's bottle, so they have these brushes
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the
that are
sponge.
from plastic.
Yeah.
Okay, again, they're not dense, and so you can. It's a synthetic material, and you can use it to clean your. Sometime, I don't know, from some reason also in the bathroom there's dirt, people came over, I don't know, you need to clean, let's say, the toilet, so you can also use that kind of a brush that they have there to clean, okay, because it's not something that's squeezing. Yeah, I think we covered it all.
Are we allowed to use like cloths on Shabbos or Bundex?
Yes.
I'm just curious.
With washing and clothing and stuff like that, B'ezrat Hashem, if people want, we're going to speak about this some other time. Questions?
Sweeping the carpet and floor.
Sweeping carpet and floor. Sweeping, if you need to sweep the floor.
With the Russian
carpet.
sweeper.
Huh?
Russian one.
What is it? The Russian one? Huh?
The things come out easily.
No, it breaks.
Huh?
It breaks. זה כמו...
Oh, those
זה
sticks?
כמו משהו שגודל,
הקש,
וזה
המטאטא,
נשרש.
המטאטא זה מקש,
אוקיי.
וזה חי. זה לא... זה לא...
I don't know.
It's a problem.
כן.
But mini Russian,
The
well,
red.
Oh my god.
So,